Hey YouTube friends and family, it's Tony with Haps Guitar Parlor. Thank you for being with me. This is about the third episode, and I have today in the shop a beautiful Gibson 135 model in a natural finish with gold hardware. And I've already started by removing the strings. The customer requested a full setup for it to be cleaned, all the frets checked and leveled and crowned. This is again a very beautiful instrument. It was built September the 21st, 2000. So it is almost 26 years old. And so I've taken the liberty of doing some cleaning on it. One thing that I did once the strings were removed was I polished the nut. And the reason I did that was because it was really gritty and grimy. I have used one of these, they're like a nail polishing block. Starts out with just a little bit of grit, and it's marked number 1. Number 2 is marked smooth, so it gets a little finer, and then you have a buff, which is almost like a piece of leather, and then a polish, which is super smooth. And so I start out with 1, and I just continue to work it until I see it smoothing out, and then move through all the numbers until I get a real nice gloss on that nut, a polish, so it looks really, really clean. The next thing that I did was I took some naphtha and I cleaned the fretboard, which removes all the grease, the grime, the dirt, and it gets into the places that it needs to. That's an initial cleaning. There are different levels of setup that I do. This is probably on the second, kind of the number, I'll call it a number 2, the level of number 2. Naphtha does a great job. The research shows it is what luthiers use in cleaning guitars. It will not hurt the finish, polyester or nitro. It evaporates real quickly, but it will get away the grime and grit. I typically use it on frets. On the finish, if it's a poly or a nitro finish, a lot of times I use a clean terry cloth. I'll spray a little bit of Windex on it just to get all the DNA, we'll say, off of it. So I've done those things to it. And now I'm down to dealing with these frets. Now I've taken a fret rocker and I went along these frets all the way down, and they're perfect. There's no high frets. However, what we do have, if you will notice, down several of these frets, past the 5th, 6th fret at least, there are indentions where the strings have worn into or grooved from 26 years of playing and loving this guitar, has grooved them. So what I'm going to do today is something that many of you may be familiar with. You can use any color marker, but I'm using a blue marker today, nothing fancy about it, and I'm going to blue the frets, which means that I'm going to put a blue mark over the top of all of these frets. The reason for this is so that you can tell where you are with the frets that you're using this fret crowning tool. Now, I had some cheaper fret crowning tools, files, and was using them, and I decided that it was worth the investment to invest in this Music Nomad. I believe this one's called an S file. Some of them are called Z files. This one's called an S file. It has the wide fret, and then it also has the narrow to medium situation going on, and it tells you the actual fret width for each one of them. And these are more of I'm going to say they are a medium to jumbo fret. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. This fret has a safe zone on it, and that's to keep you from getting into this beautiful fretboard and making marks on it. We don't want to do anything else to it. So I'm going to move my neck rest down a little bit. I've already blued my frets. Let me put a little bit more on this first one. And if you look real closely, and I hope that you can see that, and that these grooves are here. And so I'm just gently going to take this fret file, and I'm going to start, and I'm going to work my way down until I see that the blue is gone. Now, this thing is doing two things. One, it has a diamond file on it, and it's filing out the where the grooves are, the indentions, gently. And I'm not pressing hard. This thing will eat through nickel frets quick. It takes longer on the stainless steel, but it will eat through these quickly. I've already gotten through that one, and it's designed for these frets and the height and the width of them, but also again has this safe zone to make sure that you don't go too far with it and you don't mess up the fretboards. That's all I'm doing. What I'm going to do next is, once I get these grooves filed down and I make sure that everything's good, I'll tape this fretboard up, and then I'll start with some very fine sanding paper or sand blocks or whatever, and I will polish these things back where they need to be. As a matter of fact, I just recently bought, and I'm reaching here, some white, it's like a scouring pad. It's like what the green you used to buy and use in the kitchen. This is a white. And what this white is a very fine pad. And this pad will not, it won't hurt this board. It is probably about the equal to a triple or a 4/0 stainless or a steel wool pad. That's what I'm trying to think of. However, we don't have to worry about our pickups that are magnetized and all the little steel pieces. Steel wool is great, but it makes a huge mess, and this is so much better. Full transparency here. It is the next morning. I was up very late. As you know, I'm working on this Gibson 135 beautiful blonde. It is a natural color, or blonde color. It is beautiful, 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 beautiful. So we taped up the fretboards. We've been in the process of doing some cleaning. The next thing that we did was, or I have been doing, was I took some 2000 grit Imperial sandpaper. It's just really a wet dry sandpaper, and being dry. And I have these little cork blocks. I actually have 3 of them that I saw Ted Talks Guitars was using them, and I thought, hey, I could use those. Love Ted to pieces. Great guy, super guy. If you get a chance to go over and watch his channel, I will link his channel below. He watches some other great guys and knows them well, but these blocks work good for, I've just put a piece of sandpaper on it, this 2000 grit, turn it over, and then I'm just gently working it over the fretboard. You can work it this way, or you can work it back and forth this way. We're not hurting the frets at all. So the next thing that I have is a piece of the white Scotch-Brite. I couldn't think of the name of it yesterday, but it's a Scotch-Brite, and you can tell it's cooked. It's cut jagged because when I ordered the sheets, it was a pack and they were $13 from Amazon, and the sheets were literally the size of a sheet of paper. So I cut pieces out of them. They'll last me probably my lifetime. This is the equal to what I would say is 3/0 steel wool, or maybe quad steel wool. And after I did the sanding, and then I took my little brush that came off of Amazon. You can buy this in a kit. They also sell this at the StuMac store, but I would suggest going to Amazon, and I just use that to brush everything off. Then I took my white Scotch-Brite, which is that really fine Scotch-Brite, and I'm just going over these frets, just making them polish up and look slick as I can make them look. Because what's going to happen is, the next step in this is going to be taking a Dremel. I'm using a small, this is a Dremel tool, Dremel brand tool. It's the model 7300. I will try to put a link to that in the description as well. I think it came from Amazon. And then these little felt wheels, I bought a huge, they came in like a plastic tackle box looking thing, but it was a sorted brand of those, and so you could change those out, and they were very expensive, inexpensive. I think they were about $12. Try to link them as well, just bear with me. And then something that I have had for years that I've used, and you can tell this bottle or this tube of Flitz metal, plastic, and fiberglass polish. To me, it's the greatest. They sell some stuff more expensive. They sell some metal polishes I've seen guys use. It costs a little bit more money. I had this on hand. What I have on hand, to me, is balling on a budget. It's the cheapest thing to use. This is what I used to polish trigger mechanisms in Glock pistols, and I love it. I use it now on these frets. There's nothing harmful in it. Box of these gloves from Harbor Freight, which are about 10 bucks, and they are just, mine's the extra large 5 mil gloves. If you want to wear gloves, some people do, some people don't. I worked construction for a lot of years and got used to not wearing them, but I just put a little bit of this flitz polish on my finger, and then I just put it on the frets. And it really doesn't take a lot, but I just put it on there. You could use a toothbrush, or you could use a paintbrush, a little small paintbrush. The consistency is like a thin, I'll say like a thin toothpaste, and almost smells like a wax. And when you start putting this on, you actually can feel just a little bit of the grit that's in it. But this polish right here will bring these things to a glimmer. Now, I do this as the final step in the polishing of the fret. So I'll go all the way down. I'm using this Gibson cloth, and all I did was put it down to really protect everything and keep anything from getting all over this guitar. I may add another one on there. No need really even to have any tape on the body, because we're not going to get that far. We've got tape all on the fretboards, all on these frets, and it's not rocket science, guys. It really isn't. It's easy. It's an easy thing to do. So I'm done. Used one glove to do that, and I put my cap back on my flitz to keep it from drying out anymore. All of this other, I just kind of put it away because I'm clearing my table. One of the things that I really believe, after running a construction business for many years, that I harped on a lot, and that was one of the things I learned in industrial electrical field: housekeeping. And you need to keep your area clean. And the big thing for that, being the area clean, is to keep it's for safety purposes, but it also makes it so much easier to work. Now, guys, this cloth that I'm putting, this blue cloth, these are a worthy investment. As a matter of fact, if you're interested in some of these, I'm going to go to a red color. These are heavy duty. You can't buy these at Walmart. They're actually industrial cloths, but I'm going to be getting some red ones, and I know this one doesn't look real clean, but it technically is. It just, all the stains didn't come out of it at the wash. It's just one I use to protect everything here. And I've got a couple of different cloths that I can put here just to keep us from getting anything on the body of this guitar. But I've got some red ones that are going to be coming, and I'm going to offer them. If you'd like to have one, hey, let me know. We'll work it out through some way. I'll be setting up a way that you can do that when we get further along. And it would be at a nominal fee for somebody that wants one. I'll probably have our Haps Parlor logo on it if you'd like that. And anyway, we'll work it out. So I'm going to use my Dremel. I may not, hopefully you can see. I tell you what, I'm going to start here low because that'll help you, everybody, see what I'm doing. This really right here is going to do what needs to be done very quickly. This polish will polish these frets up. When you're fretting the guitar, the purpose in doing the fret file with the fret crowning is so that it brings these frets back up to the top surface, which is where you want your strings resting, on very little surface area. That's how they play the best and they chord the best. Every player is different. That's why you will hear me say on this channel over and over again that player preference is a lot. Player preference is everything. If you pick that guitar up, first of all, you look at it with your eyes and decided that, hey, I like the color of that guitar, I like the look of that guitar, and then you want to play that guitar. And then you pick it up. I have heard Mr. Philip McKnight, who I trust and think is a great guy, and I've watched his channel for many years and followed him, say within about 3 seconds, the player knows whether or not it's a guitar he wants. He'll know whether the frets feel good to him. He'll know whether that neck is what feels good to him. So for me, it's important, first of all, that the neck feels right in my hand. Well, Tony, what's the right neck for you? I tend to gravitate to a C. Fender makes a V-shaped one, a little thinner neck. One of my tellies that I have is an American telly, and it has, I'll call it more of a baseball bat feel. It feels like you're holding about half of a baseball bat, and I can tolerate it and I like it. but it's not technically my preference, and it is one of my go-to guitars, and I get used to it. But all of it comes down to player preference. It comes down to what do you like? What do you like to use? What do you like to hold? And how does it feel to you? Whether you're playing simple cowboy chords or you're really jamming out, there's no judgment here. No judgment zone from this channel, and we won't tolerate that in the comments either. I'll just be honest with you. I'm not going to do it. I've got some guys now that are willing to help me monitor and watch what we're doing, because I believe this channel is going to grow. And I didn't really get into this I have a lot of things that I already are involved in, and I've got some good things coming on the channel. When we first did the first 2 videos, all we were doing was just trying to get our feet wet to see how it was going to look, and the editing. And I have a son, I'll just call him out here. His name is Jared Winkler. He has a video right now that has well over 100,000 views, and it's his latest one. I think it was put out about a month ago, and he's given me some really good advice. So shout out to Jared. I'll try to put his channel link below. Just bear with me, because I am still learning, and I hope that this channel will become one of those channels that is basically learning together, processing that we are a family. It's not about what I tell you needs to be done. It is about trying to give you instructions on what I do. I've spent the last 20 plus years, 25 years doing this kind of work. I grew up in the late 70s in a music store where my dad was a musician who has been gone now for many years, for almost 12 years. And the love for this, man, and I apologize if I'm hitting my mic, the love for this, it just goes really, really, really deep. And I love doing this kind of thing. So I've polished them all out with the flits. Now I'm just going to take this soft terry cloth, and all I'm doing is just wiping them down. The next step in this parade is I have a small bottle. I actually had to buy, stand by, I'm trying to find it. It's over on my desk, so I'll have to grab it in the next shot. But I actually bought a whole bottle of naphtha. And naphtha, I mentioned earlier in the video, is what I'll use to clean the fretboard. So I'll go over it again with naphtha for the final cleaning when I get done. But these frets, man, I'm telling you, they look good. As I mentioned to you earlier, naphtha is what I use. Yes, I bought a gallon of it at Home Depot, $26 and some change, and then I just put it in, I cleaned out a bottle and I put it in there, and I very very roughly wrote on it what it was, and I'm actually going to take a label gun and put it on there. Why did you do that? Well, it's a lot easier to work with. It has this opening for the top that I can just put a little bit as I need it on my cloth. Now I've already started pulling off these pieces of tape, and I wanted to tell you and show you this orange tape right here is a little thinner tape. I actually was in Hobby Lobby a few days ago, and I found this tape on clearance, and it has really come off well. And it was a little roll about like this. What caught my attention was the width of it and how thin it is, but using it now, how durable it actually is, and it actually gives you a little more room all down on your frets because it's not as thick as painter's tape. This is some off-brand. It probably came from Home Depot as well, but it's a little thicker, and I did start out with that on this board because I had it. To me, the cheapest thing you can use, or the budget-friendly thing you can use, is what you already have in the house. And this whole thing is doing what we're gonna do here on this channel is build a community that's around you know, I'm going to be talking about some things. It's not just going to be guitar, but this is what I love. It's what I do, but I also love my faith, and I also love doing it on a budget. The only way that I can help others in this world and the economy that we're in right now is trying to do it on a budget and do it as least expensive as I can to the customer, because I know what this would cost them if they walked it into a local guitar shop. Just for safety purposes, you can do whatever you want to do. As I'm putting on a pair of gloves, I have had some health issues in the last 6 months or so. God's been good to me, and I'm still here, so that's a good thing. All right, I'm putting these on, and what I'm going to do, another good investment, and I'm going to ease it in. These $2 a roll heavier paper towels that have they won't leave lint on your fretboard. I'm trying to keep my big old hands and arms out of the way, but I feel like I'm memeing. All right, now a lot of guys will scrape this fretboard. It doesn't, to me, need that. I can do everything I need to do with a little bit of this naphtha. I will say this about this naphtha: I would not be lighting up any cigarettes, whatever. Do not have this around open flame. It is very, very, very much an ingredient in lighter fluid. So I just start up here at the top. I'm gonna move to the bottom so you can see better. Hopefully I'm not jumping all around. This is, if you want to know too, well, look at that. I've only run it across the fretboard probably twice, but look at the nasty off of it. This is safe for any fretboard that I am aware of, and all the research, all the years that I've done this, I have never had an issue with one fretboard. Now there are some different types of wood being used now, and naphtha seems to be safe on poly. It seems to be polyurethane. It's safe on nitro bodies. It will get the grime off. It will get the grit off, and it does smell like lighter fluid. So it reminds me of the old days when my dad, who's been gone, used to have the old Zippo out, and he'd flick it out to light up. So I love my dad, and I miss my dad, and he didn't smoke for a lot of years before he passed. But he loved guitars, and he loved people, and that's what this is about. So we got a love and a passion. That's why we're all here. So anyway, this is where I'm at, and so you still see I'm trying to get this off. Now, I've seen guys do different things. I'm not a big proponent of triple alt or double alt steel wool, and the reason I'm not is because it makes such a mess. It will polish. I'm hoping, or I believe, that this white does just as good as the steel wool, and it's not even close to the same area of mess. I've seen guys take steel wool and put it in oil, a little bit of oil, like a lemon oil, furniture polish, and clean the fretboard, and it will. So I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying, to me, it makes more of a mess. If you're able to take the neck off and not have it on a $3,000 Gibson body, and you can do that, hey, I say, if that's what you want to do, go for it. It wouldn't be nearly as bad because you don't have those pickups, you don't have the body on it and have that mess. Now we're going to oil this fretboard. We're going to give it some hydration for sure. And so I'll show you a little bit of that in a little while. But man, look at that fretboard, man. That is beautiful. Hey, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, go to that subscribe button and subscribe if you'd like to just see more content like this. We're going to do our best. We're going to be adding another camera angle. We're going to be doing a lot of different things in the future. We're just getting set up and just rolling now. What a beauty. What a beauty. I feel like old Steve Irwin. I feel like I could jump down and say, what a beauty she is. So anyway, it is beautiful. This guitar is beautiful. So I'm closing my naphtha up, putting it away. I'm going to leave my cloth here. I'm going to get rid of this one because I feel good. I'm looking. The other thing is people will, and let me show you. This is a Harbor Freight deal. They're like 70 cents, 79 cents or something right now. And they're good because you can break them off and use them. But one of the things, very carefully, I'll go along here at the edge of this fretboard. I'm not cutting, I'm dragging it. You can take a razor blade and you can scrape this fretboard. All I'm trying to do is, I don't know if you can see it, but there's still a little green. And what it is, it's jammed up under that fret a little bit. And all I'm doing is getting it loose so I can come in here with this cloth and this naphtha, and I can say, let's get her out. Another thing you can do is you can put a little of this naphtha on this brush, and you don't even have to get against it with a razor blade. That right there will get it done. It will scrape that board. And you say, well, what about the naphtha itself will actually evaporate really quickly. It's kind of like alcohol. It just has a fast evaporation rate. But what I'm doing now, I've done cleaned this board, but I'm now trying to get up under. I'm trying to get under these frets. I'm trying to get that 26 years worth of grime that's gotten run up under there. That's no fault of this owner. He done what he knew to do. He's like a lot of guitar players that just don't do their own stuff. They don't do their own work. They could play, man, they could play. They just don't do their own work. Now, the lower I get on these frets, the less of the gunk I see, and I'm feeling good about what I got. I don't know about what you guys think. I would love to hear in the comments what you think about all of this, but I want you to see, man, again, what a beautiful. Let's pull this off, let you see down here. Now I've got this blue terry cloth because this little bridge plate is the way they have it set up. It'll clack, and I don't like the clacking. Man, what a beautiful guitar. Beauty, 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 beauty. All right, I'm gonna pause you again. I'm gonna finish up here, grab my oil, the fretboard oil, and it's nothing special. I will say this about fretboard oil. You can get lemon oil, furniture lemon oil polish. You could use a lot of things. I don't recommend putting, some of you guys out there in church, I don't recommend you grabbing your pastor's anointing oil and putting olive oil on it, because olive oil will turn and get rotten on you. Now I will tell you, there are a lot of brands of oil, and I've had this oil, and I'm shaking it, and I don't really know why. This phone oil from Music Nomad, I've had it for quite some time, and it's nowhere near gone. This stuff will last a long time, and I like it. And then this is an efficient lemon oil. Now, this is one of those, go over to the overseas websites, and they have this and other things as well that you can buy. And it's actually a spray. Instead of pouring it, you can spray it. It has a little spray bottle. I like it. I'll give this one disclaimer about it. The biggest thing with spraying this and spraying this on the fretboard, know where you're at, because if not, you're gonna have it all over something else. And so you may wanna make sure you've covered up stuff. But I'm gonna take it for now, and I'm going to spray it on the fretboard very generously. And that's really all you need. I would not overdo the fretboard with the oil. This one's dry. It desperately, desperately, desperately needed what I'm doing right now. I mean, it's soaking in so fast when I'm wiping over it, and you do need to wipe the excess off, but it is soaking up uber fast. What I will do, and we may not do all of this on camera, but what I'll do is let this thing set a little while. I'll let it get a good long drink. I may go grab some lunch, y'all. I want some lunch. You know what I could eat? I could eat a fresh tomato. We still got some tomatoes here in Mississippi. I could eat a fresh tomato sandwich. I could eat a fried egg, tomato, and some Duke's mayonnaise. And if you don't know about that, we might need to explain something to you, because that's just good eating where I'm from. How's that fretboard look to you? How's that looking to you guys? Take a look at that. Got the nut polished. That nut, I've got pictures of it. I wish I knew how to get all that up so you could see it. And I didn't do everything on camera, but I polished that nut, as I mentioned before, with this little block. It's a nail block, and I'll try to find it, and I will try to put links up. I have no Amazon affiliate anything as of this point. Patreon, I don't have. I'm not at that place. This is more something for you to have information on how I've done it. It might help you in the future for you to do it. The flits, I've talked to you about that. The oil, we've got it. The phone oil, any of these will work. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I'm definitely going to pause. And if I don't, I'm going to see how long we are on the video. Possibly go ahead and string this baby up, because that's really all I have left. The body's been cleaned. The frets have all been leveled and checked and leveled, and you know, really now all I'm doing is letting this oil soak in, and when the oil soaks in, it gets good and soaked in for a while. Then I am going to put one more coat of oil on it, and that's it. I won't put any more. That's all it needs. You can get, I feel like you could get you could get a little wild with it. And we don't need to. All we need is this fretboard to get a little hydration, especially here in these old hot Mississippi days. So appreciate you guys. All right.